We live in an era where information is at our fingertips, yet distinguishing between truth and deception has never been more challenging. The internet and social media have created an environment where information spreads rapidly, often without verification. This has given rise to an age of misinformation, where lies can gain as much traction as facts. The sheer volume of information makes it difficult to identify credible sources. Media literacy and critical thinking are essential tools in this landscape. Deception permeates various aspects of our daily lives. From advertising to relationships, truth and lies often blur. Ads exaggerate benefits, shaping our perceptions subtly. In relationships, deception ranges from white lies to betrayals. Social media encourages a curated version of reality. Institutions like media and governments are not immune to deception. Discerning the truth becomes a formidable challenge. The societal impact of widespread deception is profound and far-reaching. Trust in institutions and in each other is eroded when lies and misinformation become commonplace. This erosion of trust can lead to increased polarization. Deception also has tangible impacts on democracy and governance. Misinformation can influence elections and undermine the democratic process. The psychological effects of living in a world where deception is rampant are equally concerning. Consumers make decisions based on the information available to them, and when that information is false, it can lead to poor choices. In the face of pervasive deception, the quest for truth is a societal necessity. Seeking truth requires critical thinking and open-mindedness. Recognize biases and seek diverse perspectives. Education equips us to navigate misinformation. Media literacy programs are essential. Foster inquiry and skepticism. Community efforts promote transparency and accountability.
Plato, a towering figure in Western philosophy, grappled with the nature of truth in a world seemingly awash in illusion and deception. He believed that the physical world we perceive with our senses is but a pale reflection of a higher, truer reality, the realm of forms. These forms, perfect and unchanging, represent the essence of concepts like justice, beauty, and truth itself. Plato's famous allegory of the cave illustrates his theory. Prisoners chained inside a cave mistake shadows for reality. One escapes, sees the true world, and returns to enlighten others. Plato believed philosophers have a duty to guide society towards enlightenment. While Plato sought truth in a transcendent realm of forms, Aristotle grounded his understanding of truth in the empirical world. For Aristotle, truth resided in the correspondence between our statements about the world and the world itself. He famously declared, "To say of what is that it is not, or of what is not that it is false, while to say of what is that it is and of what is not that it is not, is true." This forms the bedrock of the correspondence theory of truth. Consider the statement, "This apple is red." For Aristotle, the truth of this statement hinges on whether the apple is, in fact, red. This emphasis on observation and logical analysis formed the basis of Aristotle's scientific method. Aristotle recognized that our senses could sometimes deceive us, emphasizing careful observation and logical reasoning. Unlike Plato, Aristotle found inherent value and truth in the physical world itself. His emphasis on empirical evidence laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution. Aristotle's emphasis on meticulous observation and critical analysis remains vital today. The 13th century Persian poet and Sufi mystic Rumi offered a perspective on truth rooted in spiritual experience and the transformative power of love. For Rumi, truth was a living reality to be experienced through a profound connection with the divine. He believed the path to truth lay in quieting the mind, opening the heart, and surrendering to love. Rumi's poetry is filled with metaphors of seeking and finding union with the beloved. This love is a fierce, all-consuming force that reveals the interconnectedness of all things. Rumi's teachings remind us that truth is to be felt and embodied, not just grasped intellectually. His mystical perspective emphasizes intuition, compassion, and love in our search for truth. As we navigate the information deluge, philosophers offer invaluable guidance in our quest for truth. Plato's critical thinking reminds us to seek deeper meaning. Aristotle's empirical reasoning helps us evaluate evidence. Rumi's perspective highlights intuition and compassion. Philosophical tools help navigate a world awash in information. Philosophical inquiry illuminates the path to a truthful future.
The desire to control information and shape narratives is not a modern phenomenon. From the earliest civilizations, rulers recognized the power of truth and deception in maintaining order. Egyptian pharaohs were considered divine beings, their pronouncements unquestionable truths. In Rome, emperors like Augustus used propaganda to control public image. Oral traditions shaped cultural narratives and reinforced power structures. These examples highlight the enduring human tendency to control information and shape narratives. The rise of vast empires brought new challenges and opportunities for manipulating truth. Maintaining control required military might and shaping hearts and minds. Propaganda became an indispensable tool of empire. The Roman Empire excelled in using propaganda. Roads and aqueducts symbolized Roman power. These structures fostered unity and shared identity. The Catholic Church shaped religious, political, and social life. The Church controlled knowledge through literacy and education. Religious texts reinforced the Church's authority. The printing press revolutionized information dissemination. It democratized knowledge but also spread propaganda. Printed materials fueled conflicts and unrest. Controlling information flow has always been essential for maintaining power. Section 3. The rise of mass media and the propaganda wars. The 20th century saw mass media, radio, TV, and film, reshape public opinion. Governments quickly harnessed these media to influence public perception. Propaganda entered homes via radio and TV. World wars featured sophisticated propaganda campaigns. Posters, films, and broadcasts rallied public support. Emotional appeals and exaggerations swayed opinions. The Cold War saw a global propaganda battle. US and Soviet media promoted their ideologies. Advertising blurred lines between information and persuasion. Advertisers used emotional appeals to influence behavior. Propaganda's reach grew with mass media. The battle for minds infiltrated daily lives globally. Section 4. Truth and Deception in the Digital Age. A New Battleground. The digital age promised democratized information, but also brought new challenges. Online platforms have become fertile ground for the spread of deception. Social media algorithms prioritize engagement, often amplifying misinformation. False content spreads rapidly, driven by emotional responses and bots. The rise of fake news has made discerning credible sources challenging. Fact-checking websites and media literacy initiatives combat misinformation. Critical thinking and supporting fact-checking organizations are essential. The need for truth remains vital in the digital age. The power of the Fourth Estate. The media, often dubbed the Fourth Estate, plays a pivotal role in democratic societies. It serves as a watchdog, holding those in power accountable and informing the public. However, biases and political agendas can compromise this role, manipulating information and shaping public perception. Media outlets frame issues, set agendas, and influence public discourse. By choosing stories and voices to amplify, they shape what the public sees as important. In today's fragmented media landscape, echo chambers reinforce specific narratives. Consider the coverage of a political scandal. Different outlets might present the same event in vastly different lights. The same facts, through different lenses, lead to different interpretations. This shapes public opinion in divergent ways. The media's power extends to shaping broader narratives about society and culture. Portrayals of groups like minorities or immigrants influence public perceptions. Coverage of issues like climate change shapes public understanding and policy debates. Media manipulation isn't always deliberate. Constraints influence decisions. Even unintentional biases impact public perception, making diverse sources essential. Section 2. Manufacturing Consent, the agenda-setting power of media. Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky and Edward S. Herman explores how media outlets shape public opinion by filtering information to serve corporate and political interests. They argue this manipulation is subtle through story selection, issue framing, and omitting dissenting voices. 5 filters shape media narratives: ownership, advertising, sourcing, flack, and fear. These filters limit perspectives and promote narratives that serve those in power. Recognizing these influences is crucial for developing a critical understanding of media. Section 3. Beyond omission and distortion. The rise of fake news and disinformation campaigns. The digital age has ushered in a new era of information warfare, characterized by the proliferation of fake news and sophisticated disinformation campaigns designed to mislead, confuse, and sow discord among the public. These campaigns exploit the speed, reach, and anonymity of online platforms to spread falsehoods and influence public opinion on an unprecedented scale. Fake news refers to fabricated or entirely false information presented as genuine news articles. The goal is often to erode trust in legitimate institutions, promote specific agendas, or simply sow chaos and confusion among the public. Disinformation campaigns utilize a mix of fake news, propaganda, and psychological manipulation to influence public opinion and achieve specific goals. The impact of fake news and disinformation campaigns can be significant, influencing election outcomes, inciting violence, and eroding trust in democratic institutions. Educating the public about media literacy, promoting critical thinking skills, and developing tools to identify and flag false content are crucial steps in mitigating the spread of deception online. Section 4. The business of deception, media ownership, corporate interests, and the pursuit of profit. The pursuit of profit shapes media narratives and influences the information we consume. Media outlets, owned by large conglomerates, face pressure to attract audiences, generate revenue, and satisfy shareholders. This can lead to prioritizing profit over journalistic integrity, aligning news coverage with corporate interests. Consolidation of media ownership raises concerns about the diversity of voices and perspectives. A few corporations controlling media can limit exposure to diverse viewpoints and shape narratives to fit their interests. Corporate influence can lead to sensationalized stories and clickbait headlines, sacrificing journalistic integrity for profit. Recognizing corporate influence on media is crucial for understanding the information we consume. Supporting independent media and advocating for transparency can foster a more diverse and accountable media landscape. Section 5. Navigating the information maze. Media literacy as a tool for empowerment. In an era of information overload, media literacy is an indispensable skill for navigating the information maze. It empowers individuals to critically evaluate media messages, identify biases, and make informed decisions. Media literacy encompasses understanding the media landscape and recognizing different types of media. It involves deconstructing media messages and evaluating sources for credibility. Creating and sharing media responsibly includes ethical considerations like privacy and accuracy. Media literacy empowers individuals to become active participants in the information ecosystem. Section 1. The invisible hand of influence. How corporate interests shape public perception. Corporations wield considerable influence, shaping public perception, policy decisions, and promoting their agendas. This influence extends beyond advertising, affecting news media, social media, scientific research, and education. Lobbying is a key method, where corporations influence government decisions to benefit their interests. Public relations campaigns manage public perception and shape narratives about companies and their products. Corporations also fund scientific research to support their products, influencing academic discourse. Their influence permeates popular culture, entertainment, and daily life through product placements and sponsored content. Section 2. Selling an image, public relations, spin doctors, and the construction of corporate narratives. In an era of heightened public scrutiny, corporations invest heavily in crafting and controlling their public image. PR professionals, often dubbed spin doctors, play a pivotal role in shaping narratives, managing crises, and promoting favorable perceptions. They generate positive media coverage, cultivate relationships with journalists, and organize press conferences. In crises, PR professionals manage the situation, mitigate damage, and regain public trust. They craft statements, engage in damage control, and use social media to shape the narrative. Beyond crises, PR shapes public perception through strategic campaigns and social media engagement. Social media allows companies to communicate directly with audiences, crafting online personas and engaging in real time. Recognizing PR tactics and seeking diverse information sources are essential for navigating corporate image-making. The relentless pursuit of profit often creates a tension between ethical considerations and the bottom line. While many corporations operate ethically, the temptation to prioritize profits over people can lead to harmful practices. The tobacco industry's campaign to downplay smoking risks is a prime example. They targeted children and funded dubious research, prioritizing profit over health. The pharmaceutical industry has also faced scrutiny for prioritizing profits over patient well-being. The 2008 financial crisis highlighted the dangers of unchecked greed in the financial industry. Even food companies have prioritized profit over public health, contributing to obesity and diet-related diseases. Addressing these ethical dilemmas requires regulation, consumer activism, and a shift in corporate culture. While government regulations and consumer protection laws play a crucial role, relying on external forces alone is insufficient to address the complex ethical challenges in a globalized marketplace. Cultivating a culture of corporate responsibility, where businesses prioritize ethical considerations, sustainability, and stakeholder well-being, is essential. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, includes reducing environmental impact, promoting fair labor practices, and supporting local communities. Ethical marketing practices are crucial, emphasizing transparency, honesty, and respect for consumers. Transparency is paramount, including clear disclosure of product ingredients and labor practices. Honesty in advertising builds trust with consumers. Respect for consumers means treating them as valued stakeholders and respecting their privacy. Embracing ethical considerations enhances reputation and contributes to a more just, sustainable world.
Education, hailed as the cornerstone of a just society, can illuminate or obscure truth. It fosters critical thinking and empowers individuals to seek knowledge independently. However, it can also perpetuate biases and promote specific ideologies. Bias manifests through curriculum, textbooks, and teaching methods. History textbooks often present a Eurocentric view, downplaying non-Western contributions. Teachers' unconscious biases influence classroom interactions and student engagement. Recognizing and addressing these biases is essential for an equitable learning environment. Promoting diverse perspectives and training educators can help create inclusive schools. Empowering students to question assumptions and seek truth is crucial. Section 2. The hidden curriculum. Unmasking the unspoken messages in education. Beyond the formal curriculum lies a hidden curriculum, shaping students' beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Recognizing it is essential for promoting equity and critical thinking. Digital technologies have transformed education, creating virtual learning environments and expanding access to knowledge. Online learning platforms offer personalized learning and global collaboration. However, challenges like equity and access remain. Section 4. Empowering future generations, fostering media literacy and critical thinking skills. Equipping future generations with critical thinking and media literacy is essential. Critical thinking involves analyzing information objectively. Media literacy focuses on analyzing media messages. Integrating these skills into the curriculum is crucial, teaching students to evaluate credibility and recognize propaganda, fostering a culture of inquiry and critical thinking, encouraging questions and engaging in respectful debate, empowering future generations to become informed, engaged citizens.
Living in a world awash in deception takes a toll on our collective psyche. Misinformation erodes trust, leading to anxiety and cynicism. Information overload drives people into echo chambers. Misinformation divides communities, incites violence, and undermines democracy. It exploits divisions, inflames tensions, and fuels fear. Social media amplifies emotionally charged content. Misinformation incites violence and spreads false narratives. It erodes trust in elections and government. Education and media literacy combat misinformation. Critical thinking and dialogue heal societal rifts. Navigating the digital age requires nurturing critical hope. it's a courageous and active hope. Develop a discerning palate for information. Foster collective agency and combat misinformation. Cultivate empathy and compassion. Build bridges of understanding. Embrace critical hope to build a better future.
Religion, throughout human history, has served as both a beacon of truth and a tool for deception. At its best, religion offers enlightenment, ethical guidance, and a sense of connection to something greater. However, its power can be twisted, teachings distorted, and institutions corrupted for power and control. The Inquisition saw the Catholic Church use torture and execution to silence heresy. Similarly, the Salem witch trials highlighted the dangers of religious extremism and persecution. Even today, religious extremism threatens global peace and stability. The commercialization of religion complicates its relationship with truth. Navigating religion requires a discerning mind, a compassionate heart, and a willingness to question dogma. Sacred texts, revered by billions, provide divine revelation, moral guidance, and spiritual wisdom. Passed down through generations, they offer comfort, inspiration, and a framework for understanding life. However, interpretation is rarely straightforward, influenced by historical context, cultural biases, and personal experiences. Language ambiguity adds to the challenge, with words having multiple meanings and connotations. The Bible, for instance, has countless translations and interpretations, leading to varied beliefs among denominations. Personal biases and agendas also shape understanding, often aligning texts with existing beliefs or political views. Navigating these complexities requires humility, critical thinking, and engaging with diverse perspectives. It's a journey of exploration, balancing reverence for tradition with new understandings of ancient wisdom. Charisma, a magnetic quality that draws others in, can be a powerful force for good, motivating individuals to achieve great things. However, charisma can also be a double-edged sword, particularly in religion, where the line between genuine leadership and manipulation can be blurry. When coupled with unchecked power and blind faith, it can create a dangerous cocktail leading to exploitation and abuse. History shows charismatic leaders who abused their power, leading followers down dark paths. Jim Jones's charisma masked a darker side, leading to the tragic mass suicide in Jonestown. In closed groups, leaders can control followers, isolating them and demanding loyalty. Protecting ourselves requires skepticism, questioning authority, and maintaining critical thinking. In a world awash in conflicting ideologies and competing truth claims, the search for truth can feel daunting. While external sources like religious institutions and sacred texts provide guidance, the most profound truths are often discovered through personal spiritual discernment. This journey, though personal, is nurtured within a community of fellow seekers, guided by spiritual practices. Spiritual discernment involves deep listening to our inner wisdom, often drowned out by external noise. It requires creating space for stillness and reflection, connecting with a deeper knowing within us. Practices like meditation, prayer, and journaling help quiet the mind and open the heart. It also requires a compassionate heart, open to diverse perspectives and committed to seeking truth with humility. The journey of spiritual discernment is marked by moments of insight and a deepening connection to something greater. Cultivating spiritual discernment empowers us to become active seekers of truth, guided by our inner compass.
In an era defined by information overload, cultivating discernment emerges as an essential life skill. Discernment requires more than just intelligence. It demands critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and a willingness to question assumptions. Developing a healthy skepticism towards information is crucial, especially in the digital age. This skepticism should question sources and seek corroborating evidence. Emotional intelligence helps us recognize our biases and evaluate information objectively. Engaging with diverse perspectives challenges our beliefs and broadens our understanding. Cultivating discernment is an ongoing journey of learning and self-reflection. In an age where information is readily available, critical thinking is crucial. It's essential to identify and evaluate sources. Consider the credibility and bias of the source. Recognize biases in ourselves and the information we encounter. Evaluate evidence and avoid logical fallacies. Develop these skills to navigate the digital age and make informed decisions. In the pursuit of truth, humility and open-mindedness are essential tools. Humility allows us to approach the search for truth with a spirit of inquiry. Open-mindedness expands our horizons, breaking free from our own biases. It encourages curiosity and wonder, recognizing there is always more to learn. This does not mean abandoning our convictions but being willing to adjust our views. Engaging with different perspectives with curiosity and respect fosters growth. Humility and open-mindedness are hallmarks of intellectual honesty and courage. They create the conditions for genuine learning and the discovery of deeper truths. Embracing these qualities reminds us that the pursuit of truth is an ongoing journey. Section 4. Taking action. Putting truth into practice in a world of deception. Seeking truth requires active engagement and a commitment to putting our values into action. We must share what we learn, challenge falsehoods, and support truth and accountability. Be discerning consumers and sharers of information. Verify information before sharing and be wary of sensationalized content. Support quality journalism and subscribe to reputable news sources. Challenge falsehoods and misinformation when encountered. Speak up against misinformation, providing accurate information and credible sources. Support institutions promoting truth and accountability. Hold elected officials accountable and support candidates who prioritize truth. Foster critical thinking, promote media literacy, and support a free press. In a world of deception, promoting truth is a battle worth fighting. Embrace critical thinking and action to create a just and equitable society. Section 1. The enduring power of truth. Truth, despite the challenges and complexities we face in discerning it, remains an enduring and essential force in our lives. Like a beacon cutting through the fog of misinformation, truth illuminates our path, guiding our decisions and shaping our understanding of the world. While deception may obscure its light, truth possesses an inherent power that cannot be extinguished. The human spirit yearns for truth, a deep-seated longing for authenticity and meaning. History is filled with individuals who have risked everything to expose lies and bring truth to light. The enduring power of truth lies in its ability to inspire, heal, and unite. Section 2. The responsibility to seek and defend truth. In an age where misinformation spreads rapidly, the responsibility to seek and defend truth rests upon each of us. This is a moral imperative, demanding courage, vigilance, and a commitment to honesty and integrity. Seeking truth requires critical thinking, evaluating sources, and recognizing biases. It means questioning our assumptions and engaging with diverse perspectives. Defending truth requires courage, especially when speaking truth to power. It means challenging falsehoods and supporting those silenced for speaking out. We must hold leaders and ourselves accountable for honesty and transparency. Defending truth means engaging with diverse perspectives and creating spaces for respectful dialogue. Section 3. A call to action. Building a more truthful future together. The challenges we face with misinformation and political polarization are significant, but not insurmountable. Building a more truthful future requires a collective effort, a global movement committed to honesty and integrity. This begins with education, equipping future generations with critical thinking and media literacy skills. It also involves holding social media companies accountable and promoting media literacy. We must demand transparency from officials and hold corporations accountable. Creating spaces for respectful dialogue and seeking common ground is essential. The quest for truth is a journey requiring courage and humility, guiding us to a more just world. By embracing our responsibility to seek and defend truth, we can create a future where truth prevails.